work. It's a new kind of lifestyle.
It's Tuesday, January 4, 2022. You're now with me, FISHERMAN for TVS Nightline. Let's begin with the headlines tonight. Sarawak's new cabinet ministers and assistant ministers were sworn in before the Young Diputua Negeri Tun Pehin Sri Haji Abdul Taib Mahmud at the State Legislative Assembly on Tuesday. Each minister read out the oath of office during the ceremony, which started at 9 p.m. First to be sworn in were Deputy Chief Ministers Dato' Ahmad Douglas Ugah Embas, Dato' Ahmad Awang Tengah Ali Hassan and Dato' Sri Dr. Sim Kui Hian. Fourth to be sworn in was Dato' Hajah Fatimah Abdullah, Minister of Welfare, Community Wellbeing, Women, Family and Childhood Development. The other new faces who were sworn in as full-fledged ministers included Dato' Julaihi Narawi as Minister of Utility and Telecommunication, Dato' John Sikitayai as Minister in the Chief Minister's Department, and Dato' Roland Sagahwi as Minister for Education, Innovation and Talent Development. The cabinet lineup was announced by Chief Minister Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Awang Johari Tunopeng last Thursday, December 30, 2021. The new cabinet comprises 10 ministers and 26 assistant ministers, which is 8 more than the previous cabinet formed in 2019. On the other hand, Sarawakins are advised to brace themselves for a spike in COVID-19 infections caused by the OMICRON variant following its detection on December last year. Cases are expected to rise within 2 to 4 weeks. Although the infection caused by the OMICRON variant is less severe, Deputy Chief Minister Dato' Sri Dr. Sim Kui Hian on a Facebook post stated that its infection may overwhelm the health industry as well as several crucial essential services. He also advised the public to remain vigilant as the Omicron infection caused by both the Delta and Omicron variant are going rampant in several countries such as the United Kingdom and the US. Sim then described the importance of Sarawak's immigration autonomy, which plays a crucial role in the fight against COVID-19. It had successfully delayed the arrival of various waves to Sarawak, allowing invaluable time for the state to prepare. Now, following heavy rain warnings by the Malaysian Meteorological Department or Met Malaysia and concerns of water level rise in rural areas has prompted the Sarawak Fire and Rescue Department to conduct an air surveillance in flood-prone areas. Therefore, our reporter on the ground, Nur Suhaida, earlier today had tagged along an air surveillance expedition conducted from 1,000 feet above the seawater level.
The surveillance expedition was led by Sarawak Bomba Director Datu Kiruddin Drahman, which focuses on flood-prone areas which have been identified by the department.
Dan pada masa sama juga kita ambil poin-poin LP yang baru lah, landing point baru yang supaya mudah untuk juruterbang dan juga operasi pesawat kita sekiranya diperlukan di kawasan-kawasan ini. Sebab pesawat kita ada pengkalan udara di Miri ni kebanyakan kepakaan mereka fokus kepada kawasan pegunungan di kawasan utara Sarawak. Tapi di kawasan di Sarawak ni di barat Sarawak ni perlu juga diberi perhatian sekiranya diperlukan.
A total of 38 helicopter landing spots in 22 districts have been identified for transfer of flood victims, aid delivery, or attending any emergency cases. To ensure the smoothness of rescue operations and sufficient number of rescue personnel are on standby during the monsoon period. Kirudin pointed that his officers and personnel leave have been frozen, with constant reminders to stay on high alert pending deployment during an emergency. He also ensured that the logistics and equipment were sufficient in mitigating the floods, namely 16 trucks, 67 four-wheel drive vehicles, 37 rescue boats, a helicopter, and 18 emergency medical rescue service vehicle, EMRS.
Jabatan Badan Penyelamat Malaysia JBPM Negeri Sarawak sebelum ini telah mengenal pasti sebanyak 349 lokasi hotspot banjir di seluruh negeri. Jadi pada hari ini saya berpeluang untuk turut serta dalam pemantauan udara ke beberapa lokasi hotspot banjir di sekitar Sadong Jaya, Batang Lupar, Sri Aman dan juga di Muara Tebas. Selain kawasan banjir, JBPM juga telah mengenal pasti kira-kira 77 lokasi berisiko tanah runtuh dan 97 lokasi berisiko jalan putus sekiranya hujan lebat berterusan yang kebanyakannya terletak di kawasan Sri Aman dan juga kawasan Sibu. Menaiki pesawat MI-17 milik JBPM, pemantauan udara yang mengambil masa kira-kira 2 jam ini bertujuan untuk memastikan landing point di setiap balai adalah dalam keadaan siap siaga tanpa adanya sebarang gangguan. Laporan Suhaida dan jurukamera Ahmad Nasrullah untuk TVS.
Now, Sarawak aims to increase brand and destination awareness to the Middle East, showcasing the unique experiences, events and all year-round activities following encouraging response at the Expo 2020 in Dubai. Sarawak Tourism Board, or STB's Marketing Director Mary Wan Mering said STB's booth at the Malaysian Pavilion had captured the interest and received overwhelming requests for Sarawak to be featured in the tourism packages under the Gulf Cooperation Council, which consists of Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Bahrain and Oman.
Many expressed that a number of STB's booth visitors are interested in Sarawak's nature-based tourism, especially UNESCO World Heritage Site Mulu National Park. STB's participation at Week 13 of Expo 2020 Dubai, which focuses on ecotourism exhibition, was aimed at penetrating the Middle East market, tapping the large population of expatriates living in the UAE who are mostly from Europe, United States, and other Asian countries. Expo 2020 Dubai, the first to be held in the Middle East and the third largest global event in terms of economic and cultural impact after the Olympics and the World Cup, is held from October 1, 2021 until March 31, 2022, with 192 participating countries attracting some 25 million visitors. Originally scheduled in 2020 but postponed due to the pandemic, the organizers maintained the name Expo 2020 Dubai for marketing and branding purposes. With the theme Connecting Minds, Creating the Future, the expo is divided into 3 compelling districts: mobility, opportunity, and sustainability, that presented the diversity of culture, art, entertainment of different nations in the world in a futuristic approach.
Following the closure of vaccination centres in SARAWAK'S district, future recipients of the COVID-19 booster shots can get themselves inoculated at a SARAWAK'S health clinic or any private clinics administering the booster shots.
The management of SARAWAK'S Vaccination Centre advised eligible individuals above 18 years old to get their booster dose as soon as possible. Appointments can be made through the MySejahtera application. Alternatively, individuals may also contact the SARAWAK'S vaccination hotline or any of the following private clinics shown on screen to book an appointment.
And now on to the next update. A total of 26 Macau scams have been reported in Cebu from January to December of 2021, involving a total loss of more than 2.7 million ringgit, a slight decrease compared to the 38 similar cases reported in 2020, which incurred a total loss of 2.5 million ringgit. Cebu Acting Police Chief Superintendent Dr. Colin Babat in a statement said, from the 64 reported cases in the duration of 2 years, 41 Macau scam cases were successfully charged in court, while 23 are still under investigation.
Colin Babat stated that the Cebu Commercial Crime Investigation Department CCID recorded excellent key performance indicators and have exceeded the standards set by the state's Royal Malaysian Police PDRM department, as the Cebu CCID has accomplished the best performance in the state. He added that for Macau scam, the commercial crime investigations would normally involve the compromisation of bank accounts, telephone numbers, and social media accounts. Collins said the police must comply with the procedures under the Financial Services Act 2013, the Islamic Financial Services Act 2013, and the Development Financial Institutions Act 2002 for investigations involving compromised bank accounts. He also reminded the public to always be aware and not expose confidential information when receiving a call from unknown individuals who claim to be from any government department or any financial institution.
A fisherman drowned after he fell into Sungai Rajang while fishing nearby Kampong Bukit Kinyau on Monday afternoon. The victim, a 37-year-old man identified as Saipul Arsad, was found dead at 10 a.m. this morning during a search and rescue operation.
Tanjung Manis Fire and Rescue Department Bomba Chief Wan Umar Wan Ali said the department was alerted following a missing person report lodged by the victim's brother, prompting a search and rescue operation.
Okey, kejadian berlaku semalam nelayan yang balik pukul 8 malam tadi, pukul 8, dan dia dipahamkan oleh abang dan diberitahu oleh orang kampung akan melanggar satu jeti lama berdekatan dengan jeti nombor 5 di Kinyau, dan dapati dia telah melanggar jeti lama dan menabrakkan dia jatuh ke air, dan dapati dia kawan dan mendengar letakkan kuat malam tadi, mengatakan ada melanggar tiang jeti, dan tapi pencarian malam tadi di kampung pencarian kampung tidak berhasil, dan lalu melapor pada bomba dengan polis untuk menghentikan pagi itu .
The search operation comprised the Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency (MMEA), Malaysian Civil Defence Forces (APM), and villagers, who set out at 8 a.m. this morning. The search was conducted within a radius of 5 kilometers of upstream and downstream of the river and has yet to stumble on any clue at 4 p.m. press time. Meanwhile, Sulaiman Arsad, 42, the brother to the victim, said he was informed of his missing brother via a WhatsApp group.
Dalam episod akan datang, Empresses in the Palace.
皇后有抬举他，他自然得宠些。
可齐嫔话多讨嫌，总不放过娘娘，真是讨厌。
他仗着家里有功劳，就这么瞧不起我。可这宫里的宠爱和位分，哪里是靠家世决定的？
哎呀，梅姐姐，皇儿。 是我不好，到如今才来看你。
老姐，快去把里头的香料倒了，这里头的东西可千万不能见人，记住，闭紧你的嘴。若香炉里的东西传出去，我和你都死无葬身之地。
Jangan lupa Empresses in the Palace, Isnin hingga Kamis, 9:30 malam di TVS saluran 122 Astro dan MyTV.
Polis tidak akan ber-16 items kerana abad kandang menua pusing korban tinggal接种疫苗 terutama di kawasan 如今疫苗的到来 mudah caranya Indonesia and Malaysia 那现在其实我们可以看
meskipun reda dengan
Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera.
Warnailah hidupmu, tampilkanlah bakat baru. Sarawak pasti maju, menginspirasi duniamu. Oh, TVS, oh, TVS, oh, TVS, inspirasi duniamu.
Welcome back to the Nightline. A special cabinet meeting will be conducted tomorrow to discuss matters pertaining to the postponement of UMRAH, as announced by the Ministry of Health MOH due to the threats posed by the Omicron variant. Prime Minister Dato Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said the Health Minister will be present to table a more detailed report on the matter. He believes that the MOH has made a decision meant to safeguard the lives of many. The suspension of UMRAH travel will take effect on January 8. In the same development, UMRAH pilgrims can now opt to undergo their quarantine with private quarantine centres listed by the National Disaster Management Agency or at government-run centres. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Special Tasks, Dr. Abdul Latif Ahmad, in a statement today said, for quarantine placement at government-run centres, a person under surveillance tested negative for COVID-19 will be placed in hotels or public training centres depending on the availability of rooms on the day of their arrival. This will not incur any cost to pilgrims, as all costs will be borne by the government, including meals and airport transfer. The Negeri Sembilan government has identified suitable locations in Kampung Puom, Jelebu for the construction of new residences for 7 families whose homes were completely devastated by the recent floods. Menteri Besar Dato Sri Aminuddin Harun said the federal government has allocated 56,000 ringgit for each house, while the state government would provide the sites.
Elaborating further, Aminuddin said the new sites provided by the state government will be on higher ground. However, he added that if the 7 families currently seeking shelter at a relief center in Kampung Puom have expressed their desire for their new houses to be rebuilt on the old site, the state government is open to discussions to ensure that the victims would not go through the same ordeal again. On the other hand, Aminuddin said the power supply to the Telekom Malaysia TM telecommunication tower at Gunung Telapak Buruk, Jelebu will be restored in a couple of days. He said although the cleanup work had yet to be completed, Tenaga Nasional Berhad TNB was still sending electrical cables for the repair work at the tower. Following a landslide and fallen trees during the continued severe rain on December 18, the primary route to the tower was blocked off. According to reports, the Malaysian Armed Forces also used helicopters to deliver 10,000 gallons of fuel to the tower.
Food traders who use nails, staples or other similarly dangerous materials to secure food packaging can be charged in court, said Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah. Any trader convicted of the offence could be fined not more than 10,000 ringgit or jailed not more than 2 years or both under Regulation 36 under the Food Hygiene Regulations 2009. Dr. Noor Hisham also added that a heavier punishment could be imposed if the materials were found in the food. The Ministry of Health or MOH had taken note of the use of nails to secure food packaging as had gone viral on social media recently, as well as the views of various parties concerned about the dangers of such packaging methods. According to Dr. Noor Hisham, there were other safer methods of packaging food instead of using nails, staples, or other materials that could cause serious injuries if they were accidentally consumed. In addition, Regulation 36 of the Food Hygiene Regulations 2009 states that food handlers must ensure that the food packaging is free from any contamination, including materials such as nails that could harm customers or consumers. Consumers can contact the State Health Department or District Health Offices or browse through the moh.spab.gov.my or www.facebook.com/bkkmhq websites if they find any food packaging secured with nails, staples, as well as regarding other issues related to food safety. At the same time, the public, especially parents, are advised to check the food given to their children before consumption. Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation or MDEC will be leading a delegation of 20 Malaysian companies to Expo 2020 Dubai from January 9 to 15 to take part in the Malaysia Digital Economy Week that it is hosting. Chief Executive Officer Mahathir Aziz said the companies include those from the country's thriving Islamic fintech industry. Mahathir also added that Malaysia is gearing up to be the global leader in Islamic fintech, with these companies paving the way forward. According to Dina Standard's Global Islamic Fintech Report 2021, the Islamic fintech market is projected to grow to $128 billion by 2025. In 2020, the Islamic fintech transaction volume within the Organization of Islamic Cooperation Countries is estimated at $49 billion. Malaysia, which ranks first in terms of market maturity, is among the top 5 Islamic fintech markets based on transaction volume. National car maker Proton Holdings Berhad's total sales rose by 4.5% year-on-year in 2021 to 114,708 units for both domestic and export markets, its highest closing figure since 2014. This marked the third consecutive year of sales volume growth for the company.
Proton Edar Chief Executive Officer Roslan Abdullah said the company is proud about being the brand with the highest export volume in 2021, as it shows that Proton is gaining traction overseas. Proton's market share in December is estimated to be 20.6%, while for the whole of 2021, market share is estimated to be at 22.7%. In a statement, Proton remarked that the achievement is noteworthy as the overall total industry volume for Malaysia is estimated to have shrunk by 4.6% and hopes that export sales would further spur the growth. Meanwhile, for Perusahaan Automobil Kedua Sendirian Berhad Perodua, it registered only 190,291 vehicles sold in 2021, a decline of 29.8% from 220,154 in 2020. It cited the impact of the pandemic, semiconductor chip supply disruption, and recent floods, which adversely impacted its production. Nonetheless, its sales rose 11.5% to 22,940 vehicles in December 2021 from 20,299 in November.
National diver and former world champion CHEONG has ended more than 2 decades of career in the sport since 1999 as she officially announced her retirement today. Junhoong, who will turn 32 in April, said that despite suffering from injuries and inconsistent performances in recent years, she remained committed to continuing to represent the country.
However, she has had to accept the fact that her contract was not renewed by the National Sports Council (NSC) and Malaysia Swimming (MS) recently, thus forcing her to call it a day. In an Instagram post, Hoong expressed her appreciation and gratitude to everyone who had supported her during her diving career. The Ipoh-born athlete said she has yet to decide on her next career move despite having received a coaching offer in Perak from the NSC. Hoong made history when she became the country's first and only diver to win the world title in the 10-meter individual platform at the 2017 World Championships in Budapest, Hungary. Prior to that, she bagged Malaysia's first Olympic silver in diving with Panda Leila Rinong in the women's 10-meter synchronized platform event. However, a second knee surgery in September 2018, coupled with recurring injuries, resulted in Hoong struggling to perform consistently.
Namun ketika menjangkau usia 6 bulan, saya didiagnose sebagai pekak kerana demam panas.
If you want to say, Mommy, I love you, how do you say?
Actually, OKU, there more responsibility.
Viga melakukan sesuatu dengan segala keupayaannya, dia menjadikan kekurangan itu sebagai kekuatannya.
Aku siapa? Aku angol.
Weng! Weng! Pada benar-benar. Apa yang terjadi, Teh?
Seorang Wing ya nak?
Atau bukan?
Rasa aku tahu siapa dalam semua tu.
Siapa?
PA aku.
Asap guys! Betul dong! Cepat!
Pasukan Tidak Balas Kecemasan Pertahanan Awam (SIDET) Keluarga Malaysia ditubuhkan pada 16 Mac 2006. Ia berfungsi sebagai pasukan tidak balas awal di kalangan komuniti untuk sebarang kejadian kecemasan dan bencana sebelum pasukan penyelamat utama tiba. Sasaran Angkatan Pertahanan Awam Malaysia (APM) ialah menubuhkan SIDET Keluarga Malaysia di setiap 222 parlimen pada tahun 2022. Sasaran awal 100 hari pertama telah tercapai dengan penubuhan 44 pasukan. Peka dengan bencana yang mungkin berlaku di tempat anda. Sediakan beg ready to go anda yang mengandungi whistle, lampu suluh, kit perubatan kecemasan, power bank, kit kebersihan, tuala, air minuman, makanan tin, dokumen penting dan wang tunai. Jom sertai SIDET Keluarga Malaysia di tempat anda. Keluarga Malaysia siap siaga bencana.
Thank you for staying with me. And now we are moving on to our global affairs. The first case of the FLORONA disease has been detected in a Middle Eastern country. The name is given to describe a simultaneous infection of both the SARS-CoV-2 and the flu virus. However, FLORONA is not to be confused with a new type of variant of COVID-19.
The first FLORONA case was reported on Thursday, December 30, 2021, which involves an unvaccinated pregnant woman who was admitted to a medical center the same day before the said country began administering their fourth vaccine shots to vulnerable populations. The World Health Organization (WHO) confirms that the double infection is possible and added that the best way to avoid being infected is to get vaccinated against both COVID-19 and influenza. While both virus causes affect to the respiratory system, WHO stated there are differences in how FLORONA affects the human body. Symptoms of FLORONA includes high fever, consistent chest pain, shortness of breath, loss of appetite, and even states of mental confusion and anxiety. In severe cases, FLORONA can cause pneumonia, myocarditis, and inflammation of the heart muscles. However, WHO stated that mild symptoms of the FLORONA infection can be treated at home without the need of hospitalization, but would require different treatments, which is the most concerning matter to many.
BLACKBERRY Limited is pulling the plug on operating service for its once popular smartphones, which were popular among business executives, politicians and legions of fans in the early 2000s. The move marks the end of an era for the phones, which sported a QWERTY physical keyboard, introduced push email and the BBM instant messaging service.
Ontario-based BlackBerry Limited said handsets running its in-house software will no longer be expected to reliably function after January 4. The move, first announced in 2020, effectively kills a lineup that remains popular for its reliability and security. BlackBerry devices and their physical keyboards were once the go-to mobile device both for professionals keeping up with email and younger people messaging on its platform. BlackBerry lost favor with users with the advent of Apple's touchscreen iPhones and rival Android devices. In recent years, the company pivoted to making cybersecurity software and embedded operating systems for cars. A U.S. judge on Monday rejected the company's bid to dismiss a lawsuit claiming it defrauded shareholders by inflating the success and profitability of smartphones using BlackBerry 10 OS, and said the class action case could go to trial this fall.
Well, that concludes TVS Nightline for tonight, and as always, thank you for tuning in to your local news tonight. Here with me, Charlotte Manato, and I'll see you next time. Have a good morning.